Welcome to this week's piece. So here we have another trash cabinet. You guys know that I love these old cabinets. I think they're just incredible. They sell decently well for me. I don't know about this one because it is very, very large. My parents picked it up. This is obviously another piece at their house that they just put in the shop for me to work on there. It has quite a bit of issues, mostly dirt and grime and things like that. So I'm going to clean all of that off. If you've been following along, I left my tripod at my house, so the filming is a little rough when I have to handhold. So sorry about that, but anyways, this just has a lot of weird random stuff on it. Obviously, I don't have any backstory for this because I didn't pick it up myself, but I'm just scraping off anything large, and then the rest of the piece is going to get a full-on bleach bath. Just because I don't know much about it, it does look a little icky and a little grimy, and I feel like that's just the best way to go about cleaning this piece in particular. And I'm going to do it outside in the sunshine to also lighten the wood. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 kind of whammy situation. So I just grabbed an old cleaner bottle, filled it with bleach and water, and I doused this thing probably 3 different times. I would let it go on, fully saturate it, and as soon as it dried, I'd go back in and do it again. Like I said, about 3 times. And I've never done this before, but I thought it'd be a really fun experiment, and you guys know that I like to take you along with me when I'm trying new things out in hopes that they can maybe help you. So as you can see, the bleach did work quite a bit on lightening up the wood, but now I'm just taking my mister bottle and I'm putting like an even coat of water to make sure the wood is still damp. And then I literally mixed up a paint wash inside my cheapo paint sprayer that I have. So it's so light, it's just a paint wash, and I am just spraying this to the nines, just getting it on there. Like, no particular anything, I don't care, I want it loaded up. If there's drips, that's fine too. Paint washes drip all the time, you just kind of deal with it later. But it looks so, so cool and super, super crazy. I kept going with this and just kept building on top of it so that it would kind of fully saturate the wood, and then also I went back once it started. It wasn't fully dry, and you do want to make sure the wood is damp before you start spraying it like this. But I went in before it was fully dried and kind of just touched the drips with my fingers. I didn't want to fully absorb it because then you'd have the blank spot. You know how paint does that when it's dripping and wet, and then you touch it with a cloth or something and it absorbs that paint in that spot, and then it doesn't look the same as the rest of the piece. But if you really get on there, wait till the paint is kind of mostly dry. You can use your finger and smooth out the drip lines. And this was so, so incredibly fast and super, super messy. So put a cloth down, do this outside if it's even something that you want to do. But I will say it was so fast. It was way faster than doing doing a brush or a rag or anything, just because I could. Obviously, I could never do this in my shop. This is specifically a do it outside, you can make a mess, it'll be okay type situation. But so see how you can see some of the drips there? This is still damp, and I can just take my finger and kind of rub them in, and it softens them out to where you can't see them. So easy. I just thought this would be a fun thing, and I know this is a quick, not a lot of stuff going on in this video, but it was just, I really liked the rusticness of this cabinet, and I wanted to keep that. I didn't want to take it away. I didn't want to cover it up. I wanted that to be what the finish looked like. So I was trying to embrace that, and I really feel like it did. So this probably won't be everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's fun to show new things and try new things. So that's where we're at with this one. So this is it fully dried. I think it looks awesome. I'm just going to seal it with the hemp oil. And then once I was finished with this, I realized that the inside, I just wanted to give it just that subtle pop of blue. I just think that's nice. So I went in with sea glass and did that. Oh hi, Karen here with Elegant Upgrades, and we've got our finished cabinet. So this thing is obviously quite large because I'm in here. It could be used for a multitude of things, and I struggle with these ones, whether or not I want to give people an idea of what to do with them, or if I want them to kind of use their imagination, because I also don't want to box people in and just say, oh, it's this, and then they end up not liking whatever that is and wouldn't use it for that. Whereas if you can kind of leave it open-ended, maybe they'll have an idea of their own. But then also some people might look at it and be like, oh, I have no use for that, unless you give them ideas. So it's kind of back and forth on how I would like describe the listing. It's hard in that regard. But this was just super, super easy, a very great, like rustic style. I feel like it would fit in a multitude of styled homes. So it's lovely. It was easy. Doing the sprayer for the wash was just, I can't tell you how fast that was. I did have to fix the drips, which is just something that goes with the territory of doing washes anyways. But since you're doing a sprayer, there was quite a few more drips because you're doing a large surface area instead of working in little sections as you would do with, like, you know, when you're doing it with a rag or a brush or something like that. But man, it made quick work of this. And then of course I ended up doing the inside just because I felt like it needed to be brighter. And I love having this like pop of subtle blue in here. I think it's just lovely. So I hope you guys like this simple one. It was very easy, but I think it's a fun technique and I totally recommend it. I think you could also do it in a spray bottle. If you fill the spray bottle up with really, really watered down paint, I think you could do the same thing. It would take longer, obviously, but I think it'd still get the same effect. Like with the kind of drippy, old school, been out in the weather for a while, how it kind of goes out of the knots and everything. So if you're interested in that style, I think it could work with just a sprayer. So just throwing that out there for you. Thank you guys so much for always following along and hanging out with me. Still in California, so I should be home soon though, like next week, but I have an additional video set up for that one, so I'll still be in California when you see that one as well. But then after that, I should be back home and I will be quick response to your guys' stuff. So just thank you so much. I know I have had a few of you buy me coffee since I've been down here, and just, I think that is so, so kind and generous. And I'm sorry I don't respond to you as fast as I can, because I don't get the message until I hit somewhere with reception and it's like, oh, you got coffees. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So just know that I will respond as soon as I get it, and I know. Anyways, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I will see you next time.